Nerd News Network.
Yes,
We've got some bits to cover. Let's get into
we
it.
do.
After us dubbing them the most dead a character has ever been before a film comes out, they finally remember Taskmaster exists for some of the Thunderbolts marketing.
Do you think? Well, I think that part of that marketing campaign they always were going to have Taskmaster, but do you think they chose to run this campaign now after everyone went, "Oh, she didn't even get a chair. She's definitely dead."
One of the posters, literally, you can see that they photoshopped her into the corner of it because she's so much smaller than everyone else. They're like,
Oh,
yeah, but she's there.
there's definitely a we should add her back. I liked because they did. This is a lightning bolt. This is a thunderbolt. I saw Xbox quote tweet them and said, "Oh, I'm glad you liked our marketing campaign. This is not an Xbox. This is an Xbox."
One that cracked me up was another one they did was like they went through each of the characters and they had like a different slogan on them and then said this is a thunderbolt.
Hmm.
And on Taskmaster they used the same line as the Winter Soldier.
Oh,
And
did they?
everyone was like, oh my god, they literally didn't even come up with a new line for Taskmaster. And then people are like, but wait, Taskmaster's whole thing is they copycat. Is this just like them leaning into that? I'm like, you know what? Taskmaster's so dead, they might have just lucked out on the whole copycat thing.
Nah, I definitely think someone was like, they were sat in a room being like, "We need a slogan for her," and someone just went, "She's the same one I think. She's a copycat." And they're like, "Oh my god, you genius!" And he's like, "All right, just save myself a few minutes of work."
Yeah. But yeah, so that's quite funny. Marvel Rivals Season 2 is due to drop yesterday as this episode comes out. Emma Frost will be joining us at the beginning of Season 2. Ultron will be joining us in the middle of Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun, very exciting.
Yeah, they not
The,
like Krakoa
they look
is
like they've
coming
done a
as a
good job.
map. We're getting an
Yeah,
Ultron themed map later when he
yeah,
comes out.
it
They
should be good.
they just dropped out of nowhere like everything in one go, which was pretty wild.
Yeah. Minecraft reviews are in. They are not good,
No.
but it is the best grossing opening for a video game adaptation ever. And it is the fourth best opening of a PG film of all time, doing better than Inside Out 2, which ended up making 1.7 billion. You know my opinion, I want more people in the cinema, I do. The behaviour I've seen from some people at Minecraft
I was going to say, have you
screenings
seen these things?
is fucking abhorrent.
Do you know what I think is kind of happened, which has unfortunately boosted its numbers? Is because it is a bad film, like subjectively. Obviously, yes, it's made for kids. Kids of the age of like 10 and around that, however, they're not going to care how well it's written or whatever, and it's got stupid humor. Like, yeah, they're going to enjoy it. The kids going and like going crazy with their reaction stuff at the chicken jockey thing. I think it's like the Morbin time.
Yeah, it's meme culture. But
Yeah,
back in the day when a bad film was coming out and we were memeing it, no one went to see it.
yeah, we did it
Like with
online.
Morbius, no one went to see it.
Well, they
We
did.
gaslit Sony into re-releasing it, and no one went to see it again.
There was a chunk of people that went all suited up and were like Morbin, but like, yeah, they're not to this scale.
It made no money. Like
Yeah.
it cost them a fuck ton of
I
money.
think
Like
of
this is my problem. And like it's not even just that people have gone to like hate watch it. I'm not against doing that. I've gone to see films I know are going to be shit because I think there might be an element of it might be so bad it's kind of fun. It's the people screaming
yes,
along with lines in the film, throwing popcorn at the screen, taking their phone out and filming it for a TikTok.
yeah. What's
Cinema
the word?
etiquette fucking
Etiquette.
matters.
That's the word I was trying to think.
If
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this now, if I catch you, no matter even if it's a Minecraft screening of a film that I don't give a fuck about, if I catch you in my cinema being loud, obnoxious, throwing food and filming it, you better hope fucking security come and get you out before I do it. Because that is the one place on planet Earth I genuinely can shut my mind down a little bit and enjoy what I'm watching without a million things going on. Like in the Chrome tabs of my mind. If you are ruining that experience, we're gonna have fucking problems.
There's only been 2 times where I've accepted some applause and light cheering. That was in Endgame with the on your left, and everyone kind of freaked out because all the portals opened and everyone was like, oh my god, they're here. And then everyone went back to being quiet. The other was in Spider-Man when we got the reveal of all the Spider-Man were here and we all went, oh my god, no way they've done it. And then everyone went back to quiet.
Here's the thing, even with them, and I know what you're talking about, it was just like a, ooh, it wasn't like throwing food, jumping up and down, getting in people's ways.
Like the loudest thing was like a group cinema cheering.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, people weren't freaking the fuck out. No.
Yeah, and it's just, and this is my problem. And yeah, this film's making money because of meme culture. And unfortunately, that means that cinema people are going to learn the wrong lessons from it.
I will give it 1 props. They put a tribute to Technoblade in there.
Yes.
And apparently that came, the young lad actor who plays one of the kids, he asked them to put that in there because he said there's this really important guy in the Minecraft community called Technoblade, and they did that for him. So I think props to him for getting them to do that, even if that is the only good thing that comes out of that film.
I think a Minecraft film could have been phenomenal. I genuinely do think that. I think having Jack Black just in a Jack Black voice announce everything that's in Minecraft, it just makes it kind of slop. And don't get me wrong, I get it's a kid's film, I do. But there's people like me and yourself who are mid to late 20s who have been playing Minecraft since we were 10, 12, 13 years old that are also like, I would have liked to be able to go see that film and it not just be dog shit.
Yeah, I also feel like that kind of sort of humor, which is like easy, cheap sort of humor, if you're going to do that, do it a fully animated, not realistic looking animation. Have Jack Black be an animated character of Steve. Like, just play into that. Make it a bit more like... That's
do you know what I would have liked this film to be? For a way that I would have enjoyed it and it still would have been sellable to kids. Make it a group of 2 or 3 kids get stuck in Minecraft Jumanji style, and Steve is the animated character who they like work with to save the villagers. So kids literally get to have that. They watch that film and they're like, oh my god, Steve is helping someone who looks like me save the villagers, and Steve gets to be a big hero instead of just Jack Black wearing a blue t-shirt.
Yeah, no, it's missed the mark.
I think so. Peacemaker Season 2 is premiering on August 21st on Max. I believe in the UK we should be able to watch that on Sky Atlantic. But I've not seen them advertise it yet, although it is quite early still. I believe the first season was on Sky Atlantic, so we should be okay. But
probably, yeah, Sky and Now TV, maybe then.
Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter is the latest person to make their way into Fortnite.
Yep.
I don't believe any of her emotes are going to be her Juno positions, surprisingly.
Imagine the
outcry from parents.
Someone's going to mod them in.
Yeah. That was just a little meme from me. Channing Tatum has claimed that he isn't necessarily playing Gambit in Doomsday. It was just his name on the back of a chair.
Okay, mate. And Paul Rudd's not playing Ant-Man, even though they gave him a tiny chair.
This is about as believable as Andrew Garfield going, that's Photoshop, when the leaked picture of him in No Way Home got leaked.
Yeah.
It's like, just give it up, bro. Who are you trying to convince? Not to talk about tariffs for too long, but I did feel it was pertinent, as they could even be affecting the film industry. As part of China's retaliation against the Trump administration, China are considering banning American films from being shown in China, which is, as we know, a huge market for Marvel,
Mhm.
Star Wars, things like that. The films that do well in China are the films that cross that 1.5, 2 billion
Mhm.
market range. So, depending on how long this
It,
trade war between China and America goes on, it could end up affecting Hollywood in a
I
pretty major way.
Yeah, and I imagine it will also affect film budgets because you can't tell me that a lot of equipment doesn't somehow have parts or come from overseas, and that cost is going to get put, like we know with everything, that cost is going to get put back onto the buyer.
That's like commonly used is already in America, which won't be too big of an
Hmm.
issue. It is going to be a case of if anything breaks down, like the IMAX cameras, of which there aren't that many in the world, like in the grand scheme of cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if one of them breaks down, how does that get repaired? Does it need parts from China? Does that make it expensive? Do you fly your equipment and store it in Europe, even though you as an American company still own it, so that if it needs to be fixed, you can just get it shipped to like Italy to get repaired? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
there's going to
how
be
it's going to
some
work.
techie stuff. Like I imagine it will affect it in many different ways, unfortunately.
hmm Love, Death and Robots is getting a
Mm,
season 4, and it had a
yes,
trailer for Netflix. I saw
it
you were
looks
very
good.
excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved the Love, Death, and Robot series because obviously it gives these studios chance to like showcase their abilities, and we get so many cool different animation styles. We then obviously got the Secret Level series, which we both loved, by the same guys. To get season 4 of this, the trailer, some of these styles look so fucking good. I'm so excited
That
for this.
these kind of anthology series like Love, Death, Robots,
Visions,
Star Wars
yeah.
Visions, Secret Level, it feels like the epitome of let talented people make cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like a tenet and belief of mine when it comes to artistry. Let talented people make cool shit, and the world would be a better place for it.
Yeah, one of the things we've lost over the years was like Disney and Pixar and that they used to make little animated shorts, and that was their way of testing new animation techniques and new styles that then often led to uh
Bigger
things that were used
innovations.
in, well, yeah, and things that got used in the big pictures like Toy Story and stuff. We don't have that as much anymore because the big studios were like, oh, it's not worth spending the money or letting them do those things. Also, they now just outsource everything.
Yeah.
Love, Death and Robots and these, like you say, these anthology series allow studios to have do this and push like ideas and animation techniques, and we get to see that. So very
Absolutely.
excited.
Um, Robert Pattinson
I saw
is
this.
in discussions to join Dune 3, apparently in the antagonist role. This is exciting as Dune fans.
Yes.
Um, as someone who used to rag on Robert Pattinson back when he was the heartthrob from Twilight, I owe him an apology. The last like 5 years have just shown that he is a phenomenal actor. I was a
Mm-hmm.
teenage boy, all the teenage girl fancied him. What do you want from me? Same reason I hated One Direction. Grow up. Um, Kind of cool to see him potentially joining the June
Yeah.
Messiah cast. I think he could do a very good job in anything he's given because he's a very talented actor. However,
Mm.
I'm not as scared as some people on the internet, but people have raised a concern that they're starting to feel like the Batman Part 2 will never happen. And I get that concern a little bit.
I
I'm
get
not
it.
being as negative about them as them. It does feel like it's been delayed 1,000,001 times. And I think when you've got a certain subsection of people who claim to be DC fans
Mm.
saying everything bad that's going to happen at DC is because of James Gunn,
Mm.
and then if you're excited for the Batman Part 2, it seems to be going slowly. Meanwhile, James Gunn stuff is progressing normally. You could absolutely fall into the trap of thinking James Gunn's just trying to quietly cancel
Yeah.
Matt Reeves films. I don't think that's what's happening. I think Matt Reeves is working on some stuff. I think it's more complicated than maybe the public is aware.
I
And I
mean,
think shit takes time.
I think it's as simple, really, as James Gunn is like, Mario's did a great job. I'm just going to leave him to it. He knows he's like, everything he's shown me I'm like cool with. It sounds great. I'm letting him do his thing. Matt Reeves is a creative going through that thing of like, I want this to be perfect, probably overthinking too much of it, and it's just taking them a while to reach this final idea.
We'll get it. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, so do I.
This was big news literally earlier today, by the way.
Right.
Universal has revealed that they're opening a new theme park in Bedford, England, due to launch in 2031. For those who don't know, Bedford is more in the south of England, just outside London, up a little bit and to the left a little bit. It's very close to where I live. This is kind of cool. I've always, for a long time, said, like, a lot of people that, like, you or myself know who, like, go to America, they plan a trip to, like, Disney World, Universal, and then maybe somewhere else like New York. Yeah.
And stuff, yeah.
So they can go and do, like, them big theme parks. Because we have nothing like that in the UK. Like, in the same idea of, oh, here was a whole area dedicated to this franchise. In this country, we have theme parks, like, for just rides only. There's no kind of LARPing areas, if that makes sense. Oh, I don't even know how to describe it.
I honestly think the closest thing we have is the Harry Potter Studios that you can go visit.
Yeah, and then that's missing the
Yeah, it doesn't have rides and stuff the same.
It doesn't have rides, and also that's more like on the how the films were made, less about trying to experience what it's like. True. But yeah, no, you're probably right. That is the closest.
Yeah, which is wild.
So this is like nothing. If they do it how Universal Studios is in America, and like that same premise, this is going to be like the only thing like it in the UK, and I can see it being very successful.
Yeah, I'll be 36.
Yeah, but like you've got to think as well. This is where people in mainland Europe will come for this as well.
Yeah, no, yeah, oh yeah.
Like the studio tour has people fly in from Japan. Yeah. I mean, Japan not so much anymore because they've now opened one in Japan. But Japan was such a big market for the studio tour. They were like, fuck it, let's open one in Japan for them. Mm-hmm. Like, people come from all over the world for a studio tour. Having something like that previously you could only get in America, this close to Europe, is going to make it probably very, very successful.
Fans,
yeah. Absolutely. It was revealed today as the review embargo lifted for The Last of Us season 2, that The Last of Us will be getting a season 3 because apparently, although they can't remaster a TV show, they can't just have it be 2 seasons like it was 2 games.
Yeah, they're replacing Pedro Pascal with someone who's younger and better looking.
Yeah, so by the sounds of it, the Last of Us, the game, The Last of Us Part 2, they decided it was too big to just be 1 season. Yep, so they are splitting it into 2 seasons, which is, I assume, fair enough. And to close us out here, Thunderbolts has been having some test screenings, which you should not put too much stock in because we've seen films that apparently are shit according to test screenings end up being good, and films that are apparently masterpieces on test screenings end up being shit. But apparently executives are very happy and it's reportedly testing off the charts. Fuck knows what that actually means, but all it does. Do you know what screen tests mean to me? They are just what do you call it? They are like reinforcing what you already believe. I forget what the phrase is. That it just strengthens what. If you've decided a film is good and you see good screening results, you're like, yeah, told ya. If you decide a film is bad and you see bad testing results, you're gonna be like, yeah, told ya. If the testing results don't align with what you already think about the film, you're gonna be like, don't change my opinion. Testing results mean fuck all. So it's just worth noting that apparently people making the film are happy with what they're seeing.
Yeah,